The Department of Transportation announces commuters will be required to wear face shields on top of the mandatory face mask starting August 15. The department wants commuters to cover their entire face and not only the eyes using goggles. Transportation Assistant Secretary Godes Libiran says those who refuse to wear face shields would be denied transport. The Transportation Department cites health authorities who point out that the use of face shields and face masks reduces exposure to respiratory droplets. Face shields range from 40 pesos to 60 pesos apiece, and the government is not giving out free ones. Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade urges commuters to think about their health over the costs of buying face shields. The new policy will be implemented in areas under General Community Quarantine or GCQ and Modified GCQ. The circular covers all transportation sectors: land, sea, and air. Etrobal Laborte, a key witness in the Senate's investigation into the alleged rampant corruption in PhilHealth, backs out of the probe. Senator Panfilo Lacson says Laborte was supposed to virtually attend a Senate hearing on Tuesday, August 4. He was present when he and other witnesses were administered the oath. But when it was his turn to speak, he disappeared from the web conference. Lacson says Laborte told him he felt someone was following him, so he resigned as head executive assistant to PhilHealth chief Ricardo Morales. It was Laborte who drew attention to PhilHealth's bloated procurement plan for 15 computer system network switches by at least 734 million pesos. Meantime, Senate President Pro Tempore Ralph Recto says the financial statements of Philippine Health Insurance Corporation or PhilHealth indicate it is not really going bankrupt by 2022. He says this in a Senate hearing Tuesday, August 4. The state insurance provider has more than 110 billion pesos in retained earnings or reserved funds to fall back on. He cites PhilHealth's assets worth 230 billion pesos and only around 119 billion pesos in liabilities as of March 2020. PhilHealth Acting Senior Vice President for Actuarial Services Narissa Santiago earlier said in the hearing, the agency is fast moving into deficit. Economist turned lawmaker Stella Kimbo likewise doubts PhilHealth is in danger of bankruptcy. Kimbo's own computations show the agency will still have around 112 billion pesos in reserve funds in 2021, close to Senator Recto's projection. The Marikina City representative says PhilHealth estimates its coronavirus payouts for 2020 to reach 45 billion for 209,000 confirmed cases. But only 20% of the total number of infected people ended up being hospitalized.
Ang worry ko po is sa kakaproject ninyo ng napakalaki, nagkakaroon po ng mas malaking leeway sa fraud na hindi naman po maganda, no? Kasi sa ngayon po, talagang binabantayan po natin yan.
Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana clarifies, social media should not be covered by the controversial anti-terror law. He says social media is not part of the new law's mandate and regulating it will violate freedom of speech and discourse. Lorenzana's explanation comes after new Armed Forces Chief Gilbert Gapay said he will recommend to the Anti-Terror Council that social media be regulated. Meantime, the Justice Department is firm that there is no legal and constitutional impediment stopping the Philippines from reviving the death penalty. But it clarifies, this opinion was limited only to the legality. Justice Assistant Secretary Nicholas Felix T. says Wednesday, August 5, their moral views are not relevant. Cagayan de Oro's 2nd District Representative Rufus Rodriguez during the House Justice Committee hearing on the death penalty bills on Wednesday argues, the Philippines was a state party to the Second Protocol of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights that explicitly bans execution. T claims the Second Protocol is not yet considered a customary law. Hearings on the death penalty bills were revived after President Rodrigo Duterte gave the measure a special mention during his 5th State of the Nation address. In Lebanon, 2 enormous explosions devastate Beirut's port Tuesday, August 4. It left at least 100 people dead and thousands injured, shaking distant buildings and spreading panic and chaos across the capital. A second blast sends an enormous orange fireball into the sky, immediately followed by a tornado-like shockwave that flattened the port and swept the city, shattering windows kilometers away. The blast appears to have been caused by a fire igniting 2,750 tons of agricultural fertilizer ammonium nitrate left unsecured in a warehouse in the port area. The scale of the destruction was such that the Lebanese capital resembled the scene of an earthquake. Thousands of people are left homeless by the blasts. quote card claims Vice President Leni Robredo said motorcycle passengers should face backward while riding so barriers would no longer be needed. The claim is false. Robredo did not say this. The quote card was manipulated from one produced by TV show Unang Hirit. On August 1, Facebook user Villanueva Peter posted a graphic attributing the following quote to Robredo. Actually, I am also against those motorcycle barriers. Perhaps the advice I can give is that the passenger can just face backwards so there would be no need for that barrier. As of Tuesday, August 4, more users posted the quote card. The post with the most engagement acquired at least 900 reactions, 70 comments, and 3,500 shares as of writing. On Tuesday, Robredo's staff released a statement saying the quote is fake. Robredo also tweets she never said this. No news outlets reported Robredo making this suggestion. This is the original quote card from Unang Hirit. Members of the opposition and other critics of the Duterte administration are the target of numerous false and manipulated social media posts.